All rise. We will be. The International Criminal Court is now in session. L'audiència de la Cour Penal International, 8 word. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
Thank you very much. Court officer, please call the case.
Thank you, Mr. President. Situation in the Republic of Kenya in the case of the prosecutor versus William Samoei Ruto and Joshua Arap Sang, ICC 01090111. And we're in open session, Your Honours.
Thank you. Appearances.
Good morning, Your Honours. For the prosecution this morning, Anton Steinberg, and with me, Lucio Garcia, Lara Renton, Regina Weiss, Peter Scotswan, interpreter, and Ms. Grace Go, case manager.
Good morning, Mr. President, Your Honours. On our side, our team remains the same. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honours. Mr. Sang's team remains the same. Thank you.
Mr. President, Your Honours, good morning. Mr. Ruto, who's not present, is represented by David Hooper, QC, Dato Shamala Alagendra, Miss Lee Laurie, Miss Shalini Jairaj, Miss Grace Sullivan, and myself, Kareem Khan.
Thank you very much. We're going to, in a moment, address the matter of witness 613. For that reason, we will now go into private session to speak to the matter of the prosecutor's request for protective measures for witness 613. We'll go into private session now.
We are in open session, Your Honours.
Solemnly declare that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and that nothing but the truth.
Thank you, witness. Thank you for joining us and welcome. When I welcome witnesses, I always remind them that this is their courtroom, and so this is your courtroom as well. We want you to feel comfortable while you are here with us, trying to assist us with doing our work. And in doing our work, you will have to bear with us while questions are asked of you. That is how the work is done. Questions from the prosecution, who would ask you questions in examination in chief. After they finish, the defense counsel will ask you questions on behalf of their clients, Mr. Ruto and Mr. Sang. They will ask you questions in cross-examination. And after that, the prosecution may have follow-up questions arising from the defense counsel's questions of you. And we call that re-examination. If the prosecution feel that there are some questions they may also ask you after the defense counsel had done. So in all of that, there are lots of questions, and we hope you can bear with us in answering them. And in doing that, it's important that you try not to worry about if the questions that the lawyers are asking you are pointless or repetitive or unfair, because part of the work of the judges, and we take that work seriously, is to make sure that witnesses who come to court are not treated unfairly through questions lawyers may ask them. And we also try to make sure that we don't waste our time by lawyers asking you pointless questions. So whenever a question is asked of you, please concentrate on the substantive answer you can give to that question, unless we tell you not to answer the question. Now, it is very important that you listen very carefully to the questions being asked and make sure you understand each question as it is asked and concentrate on that question, understand it, and then think about your answer and give just that answer and stop there. There's no need for you to feel a need to add on to the answer you've given because you feel you've not said enough. First, think about it. If you understand the question, it'll be easier for you to give a succinct answer to just that question and then stop and wait for the next question. There is something that may happen, we hope it doesn't happen to you, and that is there's something we call the pause. You will be observing it, but what also happens is because the lawyers know that they have to observe this pause between the completion of your answer before they ask you the next question. Some witnesses might think that the reason the lawyer hasn't asked the next question immediately is because the lawyer has not got the answer he or she wants from the witness, and then the witness continues to answer. No. The lawyers stop for a reason, because they have to wait for about 5 seconds after you complete your answer before they can ask you the next question. So please keep that in mind. I will also be talking to you some more about that pause. I also want you to give it yourself. But in the meantime, try not to guess at an answer. Understand the question, understand what it is about, and then answer it. Do not give us guesswork. If you must guess, let us know that that is guesswork. But it's better for you not to guess at your answer. The court has given you protection measures. That means your name is not being used. You are being identified as witness 613. Your image is not also being shown to the public. People who watch you on television would only see a pixelated image that doesn't show your face. Your voice as well is not being directly broadcast to the public. It is being distorted, all with a view to protecting your identity from the public. We're also going to be going into private sessions and a public session from time to time. Right now we are in public session, and you know that because there is a button in front of you. Yes, you're looking at that, a set of two buttons, red and green. Right now the button is lit up red. When it is red, it means we are in public session. Means be careful. You know, red means be cautious. Green, it's when we are in private session. It then means it's okay, we're in private session, and then you can talk about information that may even contain your identity or your name, but only when we're in private session. So be careful and watch out for the red and green buttons. Again, red means we're in public. Be careful. Green, we're in private. You can relax and testify with your identity. No worry about it. Now, I return to the pause I talked about earlier. There are people who assist us with our work, members of the team who are interpreters up there, and court reporters over there as well. So as you can see, they're behind sealed compartments, so they cannot hear you directly. They can only hear you through the microphone. So that makes it important that no two people must be speaking at the same time. Because if that happens, they will not be able to do their work of recording what you say. So at all times, only one person may speak on the microphone. It then becomes important that two people do not overlap, and that's why the prosecutor will wait for you to finish your answer, and then the prosecutor will wait for about 5 seconds, you count in your mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, before asking you the next question. I will also require you to do the same thing, to not speak while the prosecutor or the defense counsel are speaking. So when they finish, try to count up to 5 in your mind before starting. The reason is it allows enough room for the interpretation to finish, because there is interpretation that's going on while you're talking, to finish, and then the next person can start speaking. So we call it the 5-second pause. Keep that in mind, please. And speak at a moderate pace when you speak. Do not speak too fast, also not too slowly, but at a pace that will allow somebody who's typing what you're saying to be able to do that comfortably. So with those in mind, thank you once again and welcome to the courtroom. And from time to time, I may need to remind you of some of these instructions. But for now, we can proceed. Thank you. Mr. Garcia.
Good morning, witness.
Good morning.
Your Honors, I'd like to go in private session for 10 to 15 minutes.
Private session then.
We're in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you.
Now, witness, just to start, I'd like to ask you some questions regarding the time before the elections in Kenya in 2007. I'd like to know if you attended any rallies during that period, before the elections in 2007 in Kenya? Political rallies of any sort?
Yes, I attended a rally. It was in Moisbridge, Zoe constituency.
Witness, I'd ask you just to speak a little louder. I understand that you attended a rally in Moisbridge, and just for the record, page 25, line 25, it's Soy constituency. Is that correct, witness? And take a couple of seconds before you do answer, because I understand that the interpreters are struggling.
Correct.
Do you recall, witness, approximately in which month this rally took place?
It was around November 2007.
And if you're able to recall, witness, do you remember if this was early in November, in the middle of November, or late November 2007?
I can remember it was earlier November or late October. But I can't remember the exact date.
Witness, I think I understood what you said, but I'm going to ask you once again just to speak a little louder so we can all hear you quite clearly. I know you're able to speak a little louder, and that'll be best for everyone. Could you tell the court what type of a rally was this? For what political party exactly?
It was a PNU rally, and it was political rally.
Do you recall, witness, if there were any politicians present at this rally?
Yes. There was the guest of honor was Martha Karua.
Were there any other politicians that you remember who were there on that day apart from Martha Karua?
They were there, but I cannot remember all of them.
Do you recall, witness, how many people were present at this political rally?
I can't give the exact number, but I can approximately like 800, 500 a year.
And did anything happen during this political rally?
Yes.
Tell us what happened.
I arrived at that place a bit late. I was not there when the rally was started, actually. What happened, as I was entering to the rally, I managed to see Kalenjin youth ODM supporters entering the ground with stones. They were disrupting the rally. And I'm saying Kalenjin youths because I heard them talking in Kalenjin. So everything was disrupted and everyone ran away.
Now you say, witness, that the ODM supporters were in the ground with stones. Did anything happen with these stones?
They throw it, but I cannot say they hurt people because even me, I was running. So I didn't have that time to see and to wait to see what was happening, or because they might hit me also. So I was just running away.
Could you tell us, witness, approximately how many of these Kalenjin youth ODM supporters were there, who were disrupting the rally?
I cannot say how much, because what made me actually to understand it was a Kalenjin ODM supporters. As I was running, I heard them when they were telling each other, let's pass this way, and the other one, pass this way. So it was like other people, but the difference which they had, it was some stones in the hands, but others didn't have.
Now, a witness, was it unusual at that time, prior to the election period, for PNU political rallies to be disrupted in this manner or in any other way?
No.
And I understand you say no, but can you explain to us, give us more information on this?
Repeat the question.
I think the witness's answer was responsive. It's for you to ask her the next question, which direction you want her to answer.
Were there any other occasions, witness, on which, during which PNU political rallies were disrupted in any which way?
No, there was one in Turbo Town, and the guest of honor was our president now, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, and as we were waiting for him to attend the rally, we managed to see Kalenjin youths surrounding the ground. So we feared to continue with the rally, but Uhuru Kenyatta didn't turn up on that day.
Now, I have a couple of questions, witness. Do you remember when this political rally would have taken place? In what month?
It was November, but I'm not able to give the date. I can't recall it now. It was November 2007.
Would you be able to tell us, witness, whether this political rally occurred before or after the rally you just mentioned before?
After the rally, which I mentioned before.
Now, you mentioned, witness, that there were Kalenjin youth. Would you be able to give us approximate number of how many of these Kalenjin youths were there on that day?
As I said, I cannot keep the number. The reason is Turbo Town has buildings. Some are coming from the other buildings, and the other one are coming from the other building, and some was facing where I was. So I cannot give the number because I was not able to see the others which were in the other end.
Thank you for that, witness. Without being able to give us a precise number, would you be able to tell the court whether there were more or less than 100 Kalenjin youth that came on that day to disrupt the rally?
It was approximately 100. But as I told you before, that it's hard to count in that situation, because when something like that you see, it's moving, like you fear.
Now, witness, can you tell the court what was the ethnicity of the people who were attending this rally in Turbo Town?
It was Kikuyus, and some of the Kalenjin, there were Luos, and even other supporters from the other parties. It's not. It was not only. They normally. I saw them. They used to come, even if they were not PNU. They were there.
And what was the main ethnic group that was attending this rally, amongst all these ethnic groups that you've mentioned?
Kikuyus.
Now, you stated that the Kalenjin youth surrounded the place where the rally was going on. Is that correct?
Correct.
What did you fear at that point?
I fear because I was thinking they might hit us.
Now, witness, can you explain to the court why you had this fear that the Kalenjin youths might hit you?
Because I was PNU supporter.
And what was the problem of being a PNU supporter there with the Kalenjin youths?
They didn't want PNU supporters in our constituency.
And when you're referring to your constituency, what constituency is that?
Eldoret North.
Now, in that period prior to the 2007 elections, witness, was it possible for the PNU to organize political rallies in Eldoret North?
I don't know in other part, but in Darbo division, they didn't organize another one again.
Why didn't they organize another political rally again, the PNU in Turbo Division?
Because the other one in Soy was disrupted, and the other one in Turbo was also disrupted, so they saw no need for it.
Now, witness, I understand it was prior to the elections in 2007. Did you yourself have the chance to attend any ODM political rallies in your region at that time?
I didn't attend any, but I attended one only in Sugoi, Honorable Ruto's home. That was the only one I attended.
I understand about attending a rally at Mr. Ruto's home, but before that, prior to the 2007 elections, I'm speaking about political rallies in Turbo Division, public political rallies of the ODM. Did you attend any of those?
No.
Can you tell the court why you didn't attend any public political rallies of the ODM prior to the 2007 elections?
Because we started with the one at Moss Bridge and things was not good, and then we repeated again the other one in Turbo Town and the same, so I saw it was not safe to attend.
What was the attitude, witness, of Kalenjin ODM supporters towards PNU supporters at that time?
They were harsh.
Can you explain that further, witness? How were they harsh? Can you give us some examples?
For example, if you met with them or you ask them something, they start shouting to you. Or they can mention words like the first stop offer will be Odaya. So we managed to see that it was not safe.
Now, witness, I'm just trying to clarify what you said, and I'm going to ask you again to speak louder and more clear in the microphone that's before you. Maybe just advance a little. I'm reading here that they were shouting to you, or they can mention words like, and I understood Otaya there, Othaya. What is it that you wanted to say that they were shouting to you in regards, or they would shout in regards to Otaya? Can you say that clearly in the microphone and a little bit louder, please?
What I meant is they could shout that PNU supporters, the stopover will be Odaya. Odaya is in central Nyeri, and that is the home of Kibaki.
I take it, Mr. Garcia, you were once corrected at line 25 of page 31.
Yes, there are a couple of words I'd like to clear, but I'm mindful of the time as well. I'm not sure if we should take the break before, or I can try and, because there are a couple of words, stop over. I think the witness can maybe explain what she means by that.
For now, let's first of all, let's say that after the word observe, does that include observe? All the way to the full stop there should come in Othaya, is that it?
Indeed, the witness mentioned Otaya, and it's at lines, page 32, line 9. and I think that's PNU supporters, and then there's another word that I've not understood. Witness, you mentioned, what I mean is they could shout that PNU supporters stop over, and then I imagine going to Othaya, but what did you mean by stop over? Is that the word you used?
Yeah, the first stage will be Othaya.
So if I understand you correctly for the court, that for PNU supporters, the first stopping stage would be Othaya. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct.
And Othaya is in Nyeri, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So Othaya is spelled O-T-H-A-Y-A, and Nyeri, witness will correct me if I'm wrong, is N-Y-E-R-I. Is that correct, witness?
Not Othaya, Othaya. Othaya.
Othaya, and how would you spell Othaya, witness?
O. Okay, I want to have a pen and a paper.
If
Would it be,
court officer...
one second, is it O-T-H-A-Y-A?
Othaya, yes, correct.
All right, we'll leave it at that. And we'll take our break and come back at 11:30. Blinds down first and witness to be escorted from the courtroom.